calling you body parts names. Talking about calling family names, SOBs, all those type names, all that kind of stuff. Because all you did was tell them the what? Truth. All you did was tell them the truth. The truth is very offensive to folks. Okay, read.
This is like below the first bullet. I went public with these warnings, even agreeing to be on television for the first time in my career because I believe these problems will destroy our currency and threaten our way of life. But I wish I had never done any of it. You can't imagine how saying these things in public has impacted my life. The personal attacks brought against me and the threats made against me and my family were truly unbelievable.
They threatened him and his family. So this is a dangerous business. The truth is not that, people say, well, the truth will set you free, but the truth will also get you what? Killed.
Quit.
See what I'm saying? But that's what you understand for. That's the principle. Read on.
The experience has made me completely rethink the way I live my life, the way I conduct my business, and even my willingness to remain an American citizen.
see, most people, you tell them that the dollar's going to fall, calling you all the time, and they say, listen, how can this debt be what?
Paid.
Paid. You tell me how it can be paid. We can go up to the Federal Reserve of Washington. This guy said he know the answers. Other than that, what preparation are you made for if it cannot be paid? Okay, read. We show you that in the state of Illinois, they put debtors where?
In prison.
They're talking about putting them in prison now. Okay, read on.
But one thing makes it all worthwhile.
Now, this is the key. This one thing that makes it worthwhile. Read on.
It's a pretty simple thing, too. I know I'm right.
He said, I know I'm right. We know we're right. I got the scriptures and I can look at the science. Okay, read.
It won't be me and my family standing in the back of a huge line at the coin shop after gold has tripled and there's no way to buy anything you need without it. Don't let your family end up in that position either.
So you're talking about triple. That means 6,000 gold. And at least well over $100, $200 silver, $100 silver. That's why I said the lines will be standing in line when people finally wake up. That's all. You can read this whole lot. Read it when you get home. But we're talking about the next seminar. Next year is really going to be hell as folks begin to find out, Okay. Now, real quick, we're going to run through something real quick. Okay, we're going to talk about the Moses principle. For those of you that are new here, this is the Mosaic chart. This is the vision given by the founder in 1931. And what it explains is the Bible in pigtail and illustrated form. It shows forth the principles laid down within this Bible, that will enable you to understand the purpose of Yahweh and how things are operating today. Today is most important. And there's certain principles. For instance, now we're going to begin. It's beginning at Moses. See, the scriptures always said, and Moses said, and Moses was the first writer of the scriptures as he brought the children of Israel out. But the purpose of war, Moses' name was called, actually in Hebrew, was Moshe, which means to be what?
Drawn out.
To be drawn out. Okay, now that's important, to be drawn out. Out. That's what Moses means. That's the etymology of the word. That's what Moses means. To be drawn out. And some people say, well, I don't believe that. Well, that's your option. I mean, you don't have to believe nothing. You can believe and imagine anything. But I do know one thing, that's a fact. And I can stand on it, and I know you can stand on it too. Because I definitely know one thing, you was drawn out your mother's womb.
Right.
That was a drawn out process. I don't care if you don't believe nothing else. Whether God or devil or nothing else exists. You do know you came out that vaginal film. Look at our doctor here. You tell you more about it than I can. But that's a process of being what? Drawn out. See? So we're going to read this real quick here.
This is the keynote speech of Sidney Goldson.
Now he's using the same principle to talk about gold, economics. Because these principles work. And while we at it, let me say this. I want to go through, see, people think these principles are not in your Bible. I want you to go here real quick, because I'm going to sum this up real quick. Where is this at? Okay. Go to the bottom of page 3. Now
you at dial 3300?
Yeah, dial 3300. We're going to go to page 3. We're going to read both of these. Why don't you read this page and read, why don't you read the first 3 or 4 paragraphs and then jump down to the last 2. It says, when we know these things.
Okay, the first three paragraphs
Is
on
it
page
anyone who
3.
listens, right?
Anyone who listens, a long line of on the money forecast. Anyone who listened and ventured full bore in the stock markets back then could have become millionaires many times over by the end of the decade.
And he's talking about the tech boom, et cetera, et cetera. So go ahead.
Particularly those who invested in the technology sectors we said would drive this unprecedented economic expansion. It wasn't the first time our research proved true. In 1988, we predicted the very 1990 to 92 recession I'm referring to, the one that would serve as the lifting point for the greatest bull market boom of the century. Around that time, we also predicted a 12 to 14-year slowdown in Japan's red-hot economy. Again, people said there was no way Japan's sizzling economy could fall that hard and that fast. Yet it did. In 1990, Japan's economy went into a much-documented freefall. Its real estate prices tumbled as much as 70%.
Okay, now we already in the fall 30%. Read.
And the Nikkei plummeted.
But they'll soon find out what's coming as this thing begins to continue to melt down. I got a couple of announcements. Last of the year, on December 11th, we're going to have a special silver seminar. Silver summer. We usually have those maybe. It's the last one this year, but there's some things on the horizon that you should be made aware of that are right around the corner.
The last one was in August.
The last one was in August. So you should be aware of what's coming. And as things are unfold as we get into the next presidential term, and that's the one we've been telling people about for the last few years. People don't understand what's coming, but they soon will find out what's coming. Penny, play that thing about them people.
It's the moon. It's the moon.
No, before you play that, play the one with the. We'll play that later. Just to show you how people are mad. These people are. They're going around here buying all these trinkets for Black Friday. And they don't have a bit of silver as this thing begins to melt down. They're going around buying these $200 flat screen TVs. I think, like 5 in the morning, 12 in the morning out there. That's all right. But I tell you, you say